Welcome to another Straight Up Tuesday tip. I'm 𝗤𝗁𝗃𝗃. With me as always is Mark Ainley. And back with us, man, I don't know how many times, but it's been a bunch. Perry Farella, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right. So, Perry, we were talking offline. You know, a lot of our investors who are looking to buy the next 2 to 4 unit, they're looking to do some sort of value add component, looking to do some sort of upgrade. And financing has always been a hurdle there. And it sounds like First Community Mortgage has an answer to that with a fix and flip type of product in the 2 to 4 space specifically. So that's the preface I'll give. I'll let you kind of roll with it, and Mark and I can ask some further follow-up questions on it.
All right, great. Yeah, I'm grateful to be here again today. Grateful to be able to talk to all the podcasters. We have a new 2 to 4 unit fix and flip for investors only, meaning no one can actually live there. It's 12 months interest only payments during the renovation time. Then you either sell it, make a profit, or you could refi it into a permanent loan if you wanted to keep the property. We do look at credit scores as low as 660 on that. You can get funds to complete a stalled project. If you run across a project where someone started it, ran out of money, selling it, it's torn apart, not a problem. Funds to complete a stalled project are fine. In this particular program, if you are an experienced fix and flipper where you've done 3 flips already, then you can borrow up to 85% of the needed funds, 85% loan to value.
And when you say loan to value, is this based off loan to cost? So let's say
Yes.
so I'm buying a property for $500,000. I'm going to put another $100,000 into it. So it's a total of $600,000. If I have some experience under my belt, you guys will do a loan of, 85% of $600,000, whatever that is. I mean, that's a good chunk right there. Like that's aggressive. That's good for an investor.
Yeah, it's an aggressive product. There is no prepayment penalties, of course. We do not calculate debt to income ratio. The loan amounts are a minimum of $150,000 and a maximum of $1 million. The construction funds are dispersed in stages like most other construction loans. You can go ahead and close in your LLC or your S Corp if you want to. So it's an option that I think is out there that's a little bit better than maybe hard money. Interest rates are a little bit lower. They're probably going to be in the range of 9 to 10%, but that's interest only for 12 months.
Yeah, if it's interest only, and then it's also allowing it's creating the flexibility so you can execute the game plan. And then I'm assuming, like with your guys' draws, is this just handled internally, or is this through a title company? Like, how does that process actually work?
Yeah, the draws are going to be handled internally through a vendor that we have set up to do that.
Okay, so it's also an easier situation of just actually getting that money once the work is completed.
Yes.
So cool. When is this available now?
Yeah, this is available now. So I've had a fair amount of interest so far. It's a new program that we have this year. And I might also say that if you want to, you're allowed to use it on a single family fix and flip or just a condo fix and flip. Doesn't have to be 2 to 4 units, but this product is targeted for the 2 to 4 unit market where there is a very limited amount of these products.
FCM seems to be on kind of the cutting edge of all these different programs all the time. And obviously that's why we make you part of these conversations. Like, how do you guys stay ahead, or what makes you guys more aggressive than how are you guys staying out ahead of this?
We're looking around the market to see where the market's going. And in Chicago, there are so many 2 to 4 unit properties that need to be renovated that this is kind of like ground zero for that marketplace. So I'm here in Chicago, and I'm always looking out to create new programs or find new programs for the 2 to 4 unit community. There are a whole variety of programs for renovation on 2 to 4 units for those that will own and occupy. But on the investor side, for the fix and flippers or those that want to buy and hold and lease to tenants as soon as they're done, there's a very limited amount of products in that space. there's a very limited amount of appetite on the secondary market for investors that want to buy these loans. So we're always looking to be more aggressive and find these options and bring them out in Chicago.
Yeah, you guys just, to me, I mean, Tom, I imagine you agree. It just, the opportunities there, and you just think so many more lenders would be on top of like trying to figure out how to do these new programs like you guys are rolling out. So is it just more aggressive leadership on your guys' part?
We already have the infrastructure to manage the draws and so forth, because we do so many other owner-occupied renovation loans. So we have this built-in infrastructure with our draw desk and so forth that we're probably uniquely positioned to manage these products, because it's in the post-closing period, the construction time, that really most of the action happens, if you think about it.
You've been around for a while, Perry, and you've seen different cycles. Like, you know, this has been a unique cycle, I guess, when it comes to comparing to history. Like, where do you see things going as far as the lending, this lending cycle? Are things going to continue to get more loose, different programs, looser lending? Like, do you think things are going to be tightening up? Like, what are you seeing on your side for that?
Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace. There's a lot of uncertainty about how the home finance system in this country might be changed. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that buy up the bulk of conventional loans, they may be released out of their conservatorship this year. They may seek to limit their scope. There's talk of perhaps not doing second homes anymore, not even doing investment properties, maybe limiting cash out refis because that limits their risk in their portfolio. So it's not really clear where things are going to go. There may be more of private label lenders that will step in if Fannie and Freddie withdraw from certain aspects of the home finance system. There's uncertainty about loans that are guaranteed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, because that's all taxpayer funded. So right now, we're in this kind of interim period where we're just waiting to see what really happens. It's very hard to forecast all of that right now, including where interest rates go as well.
Yeah, it's a great point, though. If Fannie and Freddie do pull back, someone will, if the market demands it, someone will step in and take that on, right? Someone will step into that place and offer a competing or similar product.
Yeah, very likely. But again, what would be the cost? What would be the terms?
Yep.
And where would the interest rates be? That's the big unknown.
Yep. All right. Well, good stuff here. Mark, are you ready for the Chicago Fact? Obviously, we have FCM sponsoring. Who are we playing for?
All right, we're paying for Jennifer Briggs, who left a review for us on iTunes. So Jennifer, thank you. If myself or Perry gets this question right, you get a $50 gift card brought to you by Perry's company, FCM, First Community Mortgage. So let's do it. Come on, Perry. We got to get Jennifer a gift card.
Total guessing one here. So I think every other time Perry's on, we throw in some sort of North Center one. I kept with that tradition here. So one of the streets, one of the north-south running streets there is Levitt. We actually have a project going on over there. Levitt Street is named after David Levitt. His claim to fame in Chicago is, and your multiple choice options are, he was instrumental in financing the Illinois-Michigan Canal, connecting the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River. He was a fur trader that was original founder of what is present-day Roscoe Village. He was a famous Illinois senator, or he was one of George Pullman's main business lieutenants.
Definitely senator.
Going senator?
Senator. What do you think, Perry?
I'm going to take option 2.
The fur trader? Oh, no, guys. He was instrumental in financing that canal.
Ah, man.
I like that you knew I just put Pullman in there. You knew that one wasn't it right off the bat.
Yeah, I knew that one.
No.
I knew that one was not it. I thought fur trader potentially because Levitt. I don't know if Levitt would sound more French, and French you think fur trader. I don't know. That's what I was trying to piece that together. But so, man, all right. We are sorry, Jennifer. We'll put your name back in the hat. You get drawn again. Thank you again for supporting the podcast. And Perry, thank you. Tom, thank you. And listeners, we'll see you Thursday.
Thanks all.
Thanks.